Comsec, please call the roll. Is there any motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to dispense with the roll call.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Second.
There is a motion to dispense with the calling of the roll. Duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion is carried. Copies of the minutes of the previous meeting were distributed to the members present today.
Mr.
Is
Chair,
there any motion?
Mr. Chair, may I move for the deferment of the approval of the minutes of the meeting held on?
There is a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approval of the same. Duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion is carried. Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Please allow the chair to deliver his opening remarks for our committee hearing today. Good morning, esteemed co-chairs, honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The House of Representatives' constitutional duty to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation can only be effectively discharged if the various committees of this august body receive truthful and reliable information from the resource person it invites. As the Supreme Court has once eloquently remarked, inquiries in aid of legislation rests firmly on the proposition that a legislative body cannot legislate wisely or effectively in the absence of information respecting the conditions which the legislation is intended to affect or change. The Quad Committee has a noble task before us. We seek to inquire into 4 sources of outrage against human rights that is already giving the Philippines the ignominious distinction of being a hub for criminality and human rights violations. Para hindi po natin makalimutan, ang trabaho po ng Quad Committee is to look into and investigate 1. Crimes associated with the operations of illegal pogos in the country katulad ng karumal-dumal na pagpatay, pagtorture, human trafficking, cybercrimes, kidnapping for ransom, and money laundering. 2. The proliferation of illicit drugs in the country. 3. Extrajudicial killings o ang tinatawag natin na pag-salvage ng ating mga kababayan. And 4. The illegal transactions committed and facilitated by government agencies and local government executives. Beyond doubt, the responsibility of the Quad Committee is undoubtedly noble and necessary for our country. During the past 2 hearings, we have seen and heard testimonies from people with direct knowledge on the influx of illegal drugs and its entry into the country, allegedly facilitated by personalities with links to the former administration. We have also testimonies and evidence on the illegal activities of POGOs, their alleged protectors, their leaders, and their network of connections hidden behind a complex web of corporate layering. We also heard testimonies from those who were directly involved in extrajudicial killings of drug personalities upon orders from influential government officials with actual monetary rewards and promise of freedom. Today, we shall continue to dig deep into the extrajudicial killings and listen to the testimonies of witnesses who participated directly in their commission with promises of reward, both monetary and otherwise. We shall also listen to the testimony of another person who has direct knowledge and connections to the illegal pogos raided by the PAOCC or the PAOK. Some people may be having nightmares already, scared of what may be revealed, thus choosing to be absent from today's hearing is to perhaps enable themselves to first prepare for their own excuse or excuses in anticipation of what is to come. It is deeply regrettable for the nation and its people, though, that some defenders who have taken their oath to serve the ends of justice go beyond that oath to the extent of defeating or obstructing the course of justice at the expense of the greater public good. It is as if they have not seen the gruesome crimes committed within the walls of these illegal pogos. They prefer to defend these perpetrators and turn a blind eye to the thousands of hectares of land holdings illegally acquired by these foreign-owned companies with the indispensable participation and assistance of elected officials and government agencies. The money laundering activities amounting to billions of drug money being washed to be used again in the vicious cycle of crimes, all in the name not of serving justice but defeating it for personal gain. They would rather defend these people and do everything to keep them safe and free, unmindful of the fact that 27,000 Filipinos were killed in the war against illegal drugs, in contrast to the 30 Chinese killed in the same war. You will not see them defend the helpless and the oppressed, those who fell victims in this game just to meet the quota. Yet you will see them defending big names and controversial personalities who have taken advantage of our hospitality, innocence, and desire to earn a decent living to feed our families. It is even more regrettable that some of them are engaged actively and complicit in these illegal activities, all for personal profit. Now it is up to this committee to unmask all of them and give justice to those who deserve it. We are not saints, yet sometimes we have to say enough and come to aid of our ailing nation. We shall not fail in our duty. We shall endeavor to repay the people, for at the end of the day, they owe us nothing and we owe them everything. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat and welcome to the third Joint Public Committee hearing of the Quadcom. At this juncture, I recognize my co-chair, the chairman of the Committee on Human Rights, Congressman Benny Abante. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To my colleagues and fellow members of the committee, our resource persons and guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. As we gather once again to continue this inquiry, we are reminded that the pursuit of justice and accountability requires not just perseverance, but also patience. Our mission is not without its challenges, yet we must persist. We have seen how resource persons have attempted to escape the responsibility of giving testimony. We have witnessed how others have tried to hide wrongdoing by being evasive and by being uncooperative with the Joint Committee. And today, we will see how, sooner or later, everyone will be held to account. Matagal na natin narinig ang kanilang mga pangalan. Pero ngayon, nandito si Ms. Cassandra Ong. It is this representation's hope that they will be truthful and contribute to our understanding of the many issues we have unearthed during our hearings. In our ongoing inquiry, we have examined the many issues surrounding POGOs, illegal drugs, and extrajudicial killings. At first glance, this may seem like separate issues with their respective complexities and challenges. However, as we have learned, they are deeply interconnected, driven by the same vices that lead to a cascade of suffering, corruption, and injustice. POGOs and illegal drugs are not just crimes of convenience or profit. They are part of a broader network of vices that entangle and ensnare individuals, families, and even institutions. Gambling is often labeled a harmless vice, a form of entertainment that harms no one but the participant. To me, all forms of gambling are social ills that must not be allowed to persist. But we must ask ourselves after all our hearings, is it truly harmless when it leads to addiction, when it breeds environments ripe for illegal activity, and when it fuels a cycle of corruption and violence? Nakita natin, hindi totoo na walang nasasaktan, maraming apektado. It is becoming increasingly clear that the operations of POGOs and the illegal drug trade go hand in hand with criminal activities designed to protect their interests. We have seen how the lure of quick money can corrupt the hearts of individuals, even our leaders, leading them to make choices that endanger our society. What may start as a seemingly minor vice can quickly escalate into something far more dangerous, impacting the integrity of our institutions and the safety of our communities. A small fire can be a conflagration and can be very destructive. The Bible warns us about the corrupting nature of evil. Most of us are familiar with what is written in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse number 10. And I quote, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." End of quote. This passage shows how the pursuit of money, unchecked and unguided by moral principles, can lead people away from righteousness and into the embrace of wrongdoings. The evil of gambling and drugs cannot be separated from the violence and injustices our country has experienced, such as extrajudicial killings. These are not isolated phenomena. They are part of a larger cycle of corruption that corrupts and can even influence those who are supposed to protect and serve. This is why our hearings are vital. They are not merely about uncovering facts. They are about exposing how deep and widespread these problems are and how they have infiltrated parts of our bureaucracy. As public servants and as citizens, we have a duty to confront these evils. We must not turn a blind eye or dismiss them as problems too large to solve. The Quad Committee is committed to holding accountable those who perpetuate the cycles of vice and violence. But we cannot do it alone. We need the public's understanding, support, and vigilance. After all, we are foot soldiers in this hallowed institution. In this critical moment, I turn to the wisdom of Scripture to guide us. The Apostle Paul himself, a very good lawyer, writing in his epistle to the Romans, provides words that resonate deeply with our purpose. Romans 12:21 states, and I quote, "Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good." End of quote. This passage reminds us to stand firm against wrongdoing and to actively do good even in the face of temptation. As we have seen in our ongoing inquiry, we are dealing with issues that have caused immense suffering, fear, and loss. The evil we confront in these hearings is not just in the actions of criminals, but also in the silence and indifference that have allowed such actions to go unchecked. It is our duty as the representative of the people to not only speak out against injustice, but to act against it. The Joint Committee's work is not just an administrative exercise, nor a political exercise. It is a collective effort to right wrongs, to hold accountable those who have perpetrated injustice, and to ensure that such actions are not repeated. This requires all of us to work together, to support one another, and to be steadfast in our commitment to justice. I urge all resource persons, public officials, and citizens to help us in this endeavor. When people come together to confront evil, when we choose to act justly and stand for what is right, we become a powerful force for good. Let us overcome the evil we face, the arrogance, defiance of the law, not with words alone, but with meaningful action. Together, let us stand against vice and evil. Let us work to build a society where justice prevails, where the innocent are protected, and where our children and their children can grow up free from the dark shadows of vice, corruption, and violence. It is often said that evil thrives when the upright remain silent. Therefore, let us not be silent. Let us speak out and act, guided by the principles of righteousness and justice. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Chairman Abante.
At the proper time, Mr. Chair, I will be making a motion to grant immunity to our witnesses, Police Colonel Joby Espinido and Police Colonel Jimmy Fortaleza, because they are vital witnesses and they will be telling us something that is quite important and necessary for us to know at the proper time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Abante. At the proper time, the committee will rule on the motion by Chairman Abante on the issue of granting immunity to those who are eligible to avail of the immunity in their statements to be given before the squad committee. Thank you, Chairman Abante. Congressman Fernandez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since the issue today pertains to EJK and the POGO issue, I will defer my opening remarks, considering that Chairman Abante already took my time. So, to expedite the proper discussion, Mr. Chairman, since alauna pa naman po yung POGO, so I will be submitting my opening remarks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Dan Fernandez, for being considerate to the committee. Chairman Paduano, you're recognized.
Same with me, Mr. Chairman. I think the manifestation made by Chairman Dan echoes this representation. And I do not know if Chairman Dan has prepared these opening remarks. I hope so. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, he seems to have a 25-page opening remarks for today's committee hearing, Chairman Paduano. So thank you again for being considerate to the committee. Now, before we proceed with the...
And to the members, Mr. Chair.
and to the members as well. And before we proceed with the interpellation, allow the chair first to state that there are still administrative matters that we have to dispose of. And we are in receipt of several letters from our resource persons that we invited for today's committee hearing, and also letters that were supposed to have been read in the last committee hearing of the Quadcom. So, Chairman Paduano, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, so that we can confirm whether the invited resource persons and witnesses is present, can we ask the COMSEC to acknowledge all the resource persons present in today's hearing, and later we will discuss all the excuse letters sent to us with regards to all the invitees that is not present in today's hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
COMSEC, please comply.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Your Honors. For this hearing, we have the resource persons, for our resource persons, we invited the Anti-Money Laundering Council, and we have with us Attorney Adrian Arpon. From the Bureau of Immigration, we have with us Attorney Vicente Chi Uncad. And from the Bureau of Customs, we have Director Vernie Inciso and Attorney Kyril Padilla. From the Bureau of Corrections, we have with us Assistant Secretary Al Pereiras, Chief Inspector Regino de Varas, and Attorney Ferdinand Balduman. We also with us Chief Inspector Jerome Glaze, Chief Senior Superintendent Gerardo Padilla, and Chief Senior Inspector Noni Foro. From the Civil Aviation Authority, we have with us Captain Edgardo Diaz, Brigadier General Dionisio Robles, and Attorney Irish Presion. We also invited the Department of Agrarian Reform, Department of Agrarian Reform, and they have not presented themselves for today's hearing. From the Department of Foreign Affairs, we have Mr. Von Pangwi and Ms. Karen Terrado. From the Department of Interior and Local Government, we have with us Undersecretary Juan Victor Llamas. From the Department of Justice, we have Provincial Prosecutor Ramoncito Bienvenido Ocampo Jr. and Senior Assistant State Prosecutor Josie Cristina Dugay. From the Department of Labor and Employment, we have Assistant Regional Director Alejandro Inza Cruz. From the Land Registration Authority, we have Attorney Salvalente Thaddeus Elizalde and Attorney Mark Geronimo. We also invited the Land Transportation Office, but they have not yet presented themselves for today's hearing. From the National Police Commission, we have with us Commissioner Edelberto Leonardo. From the National Bureau of Investigation, we have Attorney Ross Jonathan Galicia and Attorney Dennis Victor Asistio and Attorney Florendo Gamunak. We invited the Office of the Ombudsman. They have not acknowledged our invitation. The Office of the Solicitor General, they are not yet around. From the Pag-ibig Fund, there's no one in attendance. From the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, we have Mr. Alejandro Tenco. He is around. The Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of PAGCOR. From the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, we invited them and they sent us an excuse letter. From the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, we have Assistant Secretary Renato Gumban, Attorney Joel L. Maggio, Director Wardy Hitalia, and Attorney Hill Pabilona. From the Philippine Statistics Authority, we have Engineer Marisa Grande and Attorney Eliezer Ambatali. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, we have Attorney Hale Oliver Labayo. We also invited the Social Security System. They have not yet presented themselves today. From the Philippine National Police, we have with us Police Major General Romeo M. Karamat Jr., Police Colonel David Poclay of CIDG, Police Brigadier General Kel Sandoval of the IDM, and Police Brigadier General Jose Hidalgo, and also Attorney Brigido De Jesus Dulay. Also from the PNP, we have Police Colonel Joey Kaise, Police Colonel J. Dimaandal, Police Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Kibete, Police Lieutenant Colonel Pearl Joy Gulayan, Police Major Perfecto De Mayo, and Police Colonel Satur Edjong. From the local government units, Your Honors, we have with us the Mayor of Angeles City, Pampanga, Honorable Carmelo G. Lazatin Jr., and some of his department heads. From Porac, Pampanga, we have with us the Mayor, Honorable Mayor Jing Capil, and also Attorney Maria Cecilia Cristina Africa, the Municipal Administrator. From Sual, Pangasinan, we have with us Honorable Liseldo D.Q. Kalugay. We invited also the incorporators of the different corporations. And so far, we have with us Mr. Julian M. Lensangan, Mr. Edwin Ang, and Marion Chua of Lucky South 99. Ms. Cassandra Ong is in detention at our detention facility. And from Lucky South 99 Limited Company, we have Attorney Rodrigo Melchor, the counsel. Other private citizens, we have with us Mr. Alberto Rodolfo A.R. de la Serna, Mrs. Nila T. Cruz de Guzman, Mr. Danny Coral, and Attorney Maria Gracia Joko. Are there any more resource persons who are not called but present? From the SSS, sir, we have Attorney Joseph Desilinia, Mrs. Vilma Agapito, the Vice President for Luzon, and Ms. Gloria Corazon Andrade, Vice President for Luzon Central 2, and Ms. Victoria Garong. That's all, Mr. Chair. That's all, Your Honors.
Thank you, Comsec. Any other administrative matters that my co-chairs would like to take up before this committee?
Mr. Chair, I need to be clarified on certain matters, administrative matters. I have a copy of the summary of the subpoena ad testificandum against, because I never heard their name on the list that was presented by our COMSEC with regards to these personalities. Like, for example, we have issued a subpoena ad testificandum to the following personalities. Mr. Alberto Rodolfo A.R. Yap de la Serna. Is he here? He's here?
I read his name. He is here.
Okay. So, he's okay. Telma B. Larananan. Panay sa, Sunyuan Banban. Rowena Evangelista. Because I have a copy here, Comsec. Mr. Chairman, I think the reason why I raised this, we have issued subpoena ad testificandum on these following people. Una po, dito sa Sunyuan, Bamban, the following personalities that were issued: Rita S. Iturralde, Merly Joy M. Castro, Yu Sheng Kan, Jameline Santos Cruz, Roderick Paul Bernardo Pujante. If they are here, please raise your right hand. If wala, Mr. Chairman, since that we have issued already a subpoena, then I think, the next step is to issue or cite them in contempt, Mr. Chairman. But let me read first the second page. We also issued a subpoena on the Porac issue. Juan Miguel Alpas, Shang Ruijin, Bayong Lin, Rachel Joan Malonzo Carrion, Xingyang Wang, Bernard Chua, Michael Bryce B. Mascareñas, Rodrigo A. Bande, Xiang Tan, Jingu, Xiang Ji. Because all these personalities, Mr. Chairman, are included on the POGO issue that we will be tackling in a little while. And also, Lowy Yambao, Jesse Ralios, Sam C, Heidi Corinne B. Uy, Nina Mira Cervantes, Duaren Wu, Xiang Tan, Chona A. Alejandre, Daniel Salcedo, Han Gao. That's it. So, if your name was mentioned, please raise your right hand. If none, Mr. Chairman, I move that...
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congress... Ay,
Is this related to the...
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please, Congressman Paduano, with the indulgence of Congressman Fernandez. Please
Can I
proceed.
speak? Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. Those mentioned name, of course, they were issued as subpoena, but except, no, it was very clear during the last hearing with regards to the presence supposedly of Miss Celine Cruz, and was personally explained and manifested during the last hearing by her sister that a certain Celine Cruz Roque was already residing in the U.S. But the Cruz family, except for the father, committed to this committee that for on behalf of Celine Cruz, they will explain and answer whatever will be the query and questions of the members of this committee. So, Mr. Chairman, just to put in order, Celine Cruz was excused during the previous hearing, and I presume that she will be excused in today's hearing, Mr. Chairman, on that grounds. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The manifestation of Congressman Paduano is noted. Congressman Fernandez, please proceed.
Because, Mr. Chairman, I agree with Chairman Paduano on Jemeline Santos Cruz. There are those unserved subpoena that was issued by us. And in accordance with this communication, they refused to receive the said subpoena. A lot of them in the issue of PORAC refused to receive the said subpoena. So I believe, Mr. Chairman, that we need to take action on this, considering that refusing to accept these subpoenas is tantamount on saying that they are somehow medyo masakit man sa Tagalog, pero pampabastos dito sa Quadcom. And we have to insist on their presence. Exactly because the main character that we are looking for so many months is already in our custody. And they can clarify a lot of matters that we will be discussing later. And so, Mr. Chairman, I think the Quadcom should take action on this matter.
Mr. Chairman.
Is the chairman of the Committee on Public Order and Safety moving for the issuance of a show cause order to those names that he mentioned?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Congressman Paduano.
We'll just check the records if indeed they were issued the subpoena. But, Mr. Chairman, ganito na lang po, just for due process, for all those listed names that was cited by Chairman Fernandez, I think the ruling or the position of this committee will just hold, and we will tackle it before we suspend this hearing, because maybe we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they will be coming into this hearing, maybe late. So I think for me, Mr. Chairman, we'll just tackle it before we suspend this hearing, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Albano.
Mr. Chairman, we have subpoenaed several members and they've been repeatedly absent here. And I fear that another exit of a banca like Alice Go will happen. We should issue already a not only a show cause order, if I may ask the Chairman Dan Fernandez to really issue a subpoena so that we can ferret out the truth, because we cannot again afford another mistake where it is so embarrassing that a certain person that we submit as a subpoena will again go 5 hours by boat and go to Malaysia and get arrested in Indonesia. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, before we go into voting, Mr. Chair.
Allow first the Chair to respond to the statement made by Congressman Paduano and our Deputy Speaker Albano. The request of Congressman Paduano is to defer the action of the committee on those invited resource persons who have failed to appear in our committee hearing today, where show cause orders have already been issued in the last committee hearing. So, and this was also supported by the earlier motion by Congressman Abante as to the action of the committee on the request for immunity of our resource person for today's committee hearing. So if I may appeal to the members, especially to the Deputy Speaker Albano, to just let us hold in abeyance the action of the committee on whether we will issue a subpoena or show cause orders or cite in contempt those who have continuously failed to appear before this committee that we have always been invited. So, for us to be able to proceed with the interpellation of the resource persons and the witnesses that will be presented today, let us defer for the moment the action of the committee on all our so-called deliverables for the committee.
Mr. Chair, just a simple rebuttal. Mr. Chair, I defer to the actions of this committee and the four chairmen and their,
Thank you, Congressman Albano.
But may I reiterate that in the proper time, those that are not here and those who have not been willing to submit themselves for our committee hearings are already subject. We already given a show cause order. We've invited them several times, and they still refuse, Mr. Chair. And so, again, although I submit to the ruling of the chairman, Mr. Chairman, I will reiterate in the proper time the motion to cite them in contempt and to deliver them here in the House of Representatives. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The manifestation of DS Albano is noted. Congressman Fernandez.
Mr. Chairman, point of information to everybody, because what I have right now is there are those personalities that we have issued subpoenas testificandum that was served, and there are those that are unserved, and there are those who refuse to receive the said subpoena. So in other words, Mr. Chairman, with all these documents that we have right now, we can issue or cite in contempt those who have refused to receive the said subpoena. But those who have been unserved and not resident of that address anymore, then we will be lenient to them, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The manifestation of Congressman Fernandez is likewise noted. Congressman Acop.
Mr. Chair, may I know if SPO4 Arturo Narzoles is around?
Comsec. Is Arturo Narzoles present?
At the moment, sir, he has not presented himself. He is not yet around as of the moment.
How about Commissioner Lilberto Leonardo?
He is present, sir.
Present. How about Lieutenant Colonel Rohina Garma?
She is not yet around, sir.
Okay. How about Bucor Superintendent Gerardo Padilla?
He is present, sir.
Present. How about Mr. Jimmy Fortaleza?
I believe he is around, sir.
Thank you. So, from the names that I have mentioned, only Lieutenant Colonel Rohina Garma is not around.
Yes, sir, because according to the invitation, according to the response of the PNP, where we coursed through our invitation, she is already retired and they don't know her whereabouts.
Mr. Chair, since we have issued an invitation to Lieutenant Colonel Rohina Garma, retired, may I respectfully move that we issue a show cause order?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Attending the
Second, Mr. Chair.
hearing today.
There is a motion to issue a show cause order to Lieutenant Colonel Garma for failing to appear today in our committee hearing today. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, in the last hearing, we also directed the Bureau of Corrections to provide data and documents regarding Chinese nationals charged with drug trafficking who died between July 2016 and 2017. And we also directed the Bucor to submit details of the transfer of a certain Mr. Wong to the Davao Penal Colony. May I know if
Congressman
Bucor,
Akop, I have here a copy of the report submitted by the Bureau of Corrections with respect to our request in the last hearing to provide us data and information which was asked during the last committee hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We also directed PIDEA in the last hearing to secure affidavits from the wives of the witnesses who were presented in the last hearing, Andy and Tata. May I know if the PIDEA has complied with it already?
PIDEA? PIDEA, have you complied with the request of the committee last hearing to secure the affidavits of the family or wives of PDLs who appeared before this committee last Quadcom committee hearing? Please come closer to the microphone.
Nagbigay daw.
Sir, up to now, sir, we cannot locate the wives and the daughter. The daughter of, I think Marabara is already dead. And the estranged wife of Tan cannot be found, sir.
Congressman Akop?
Baka mag-kontra kayo ng boss mo.
Yes, DG Lasso, you're recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Immediately after the hearing last August 22nd, kinausap ko po yung mga witnesses. Ang sabi po ni Witness Magdadaro, pumanaw na po yung asawa niya na tumanggap nung 1 milyon na pabuya. Ito naman si Witness Tan, sinabi po niya na matagal na po nangyari at ayaw na po sana niyang istorbohin yung stepdaughter niya na tumanggap ng 1 million na pabuya.
DG, the reason why we directed you to get the affidavits of the wives were that in their statements, they were the ones who received the alleged 1 million. Para mag-corroborate sana doon sa statements po ng kanilang mga asawa. Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit dinirect namin kayo na kunan ng affidavit sa mga yon. So, they refused.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Nakiusap nga po si Witness Tan na kung pwede, wag na lang gambalahin o istorbohin his stepdaughter. Apparently, sir, what happened is that the stepdaughter was the one who received the money for the mother. But according to the two witnesses, they also confirmed that immediately after they received the money, when they both the wives then visited them together in the Davao Penal Colony, they confirmed that they really received the monies coming from because of their actions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next, we also required Attorney Roque to submit his SALN from 2016 to 2022, provide us a copy of the deed of sale for the 1.8-hectare property located at Multinational Village, Parañaque, provide a copy of the trust agreement between Percival Ortega and the Roque family for the transfer of shareholdings, submit his 2018 income tax return, provide a copy of the loan agreement between Attorney Roque and his aunt, and provide a copy of the sublease agreement between Whirlwind and Lucky South 99. The other ones are submit the extrajudicial settlement of his aunt's estate, including the corresponding tax returns, submit a medical certificate for his wife, Miss Myla Roque, which would state that she's not capable medically to attend the hearings because the medical certificate given in the last hearing did not state so. May I know if these were complied with by Attorney Harry Roque, Comsec?
Comsec?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, as of the moment, the committee has not received any document from Attorney Harry Roque.
Chairman.
Are you done? Sige. Congressman Paduano.
Chairman, in relation to the wife of Harry Roque, as far as I remember, we accept the verbal explanation of Attorney Harry Roque last hearing with regards to the excuse for his wife. But with the colloquia for Mr. Harry Roque to submit the medical certificate of the surgery he mentioned during the hearings. And of course, in that hearing, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy dated August 22, 2024, last hearing, with regards to the excuse letter made by Miss Myla Roque. And attached is a certificate coming from Clinica Manila. But when we check about Clinica Manila, Mr. Chairman, this Clinica Manila is just a mall-based ambulatory clinic. And second, ambulatory clinic only for medical services performed on an outpatient basis without admission to hospital or other facility. So in short, Mr. Chairman, Attorney Harry Roque committed to this committee when he was cited in contempt that he will submit the medical certificate of, he mentioned the two surgery was made to his wife. So as of now, we have not received such medical certificate. That's why, Mr. Chairman, with the indulgence of Congressman Acop, and if the committee will join me, I will move to issue a subpoena do this second, Mr. Chairman, for that document that was promised to us by Attorney Harry Roque.
So
move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion to subpoena duces tecum for Miss Myla Roque?
No, the certificate, medical certificate for the two surgery.
For the medical certificate of Miss Myla Roque?
Yeah, yung dalawa na you mentioned during the hearing. Yung last year at saka this year, Mr. Chairman, because that will only justify why we accept the excuse letter or the excuse statement of Mr. Harry Roque, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, in the motion that was moved by Chairman Paduano, can we include also to cite the subpoena duces tecum on all the requirements and documents that was being asked by this committee?
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
What is the point of order?
My point of order is we have to rule first on my motion because under our rules, there is only one motion for one subject matter, Mr. Chairman.
No, what I'm trying to point out, Chairman, is to have some amendments on the motion regarding to all the documents that being asked by this committee. I'm not... Ako na magsasalita.
Hearing is resumed.
Mr. Chairman, if that is the wisdom of Chairman Paduano, I withdraw my amendment for that matter.
Okay, thank
Maraming
you.
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Fernandez. Congressman Paduano, can you please repeat the motion?
My motion is about the medical certificate coming from the doctor or hospital in which Mr. Harry Roque is cited during the previous hearing on 2 surgery that was made to his wife. That is only my motion, Mr. Chairman. That's why I move to issue a subpoena doses TCOM for that 2 medical certificate, Mr. Chairman. That's my motion.
Okay, there is a motion, so stated, duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Okay,
Mr.
Congressman Fernandez?
I think I still have the
Congressman
floor, Mr.
Akop,
Chair.
please proceed.
Thank you. May I also move that all the documents which we required Attorney Harry Roque to submit and he failed to do so, may also move that we issue a subpoena doses TECOM for the documents.
There is a motion, duly seconded, as stated by Congressman Akop, to issue a subpoena duces tecum on the documents required from Attorney Harry Roque before this committee. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, last but not the least, we also required AFAB to submit the feasibility study that Attorney Harry Roque submitted to the Freeport Authority of Bataan. May I know if AFAB has complied with this?
COMSEC, has AFAB complied with the request of the committee?
As of the moment, sir, we have not yet received the...
And because of that, Mr. Chair, may I move that we issue a subpoena duces tecum to AFAB for them to submit the requirement regarding the feasibility study that Attorney Roque submitted to the Freeport Authority of Bataan. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion, so stated, duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. We now proceed with the ground rules, but before that, may I ask Chairman Akop first to please state for the record the ground rules for our committee hearing today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The ground rules in the conduct of the Quad hearings. Now, each committee must meet the quorum and voting requirements under the House rules and shall act separately on any matter, motion, or issue before it. A member who is also a member of another committee or committees shall have a vote in each of the committee which such member is a member. Before the scheduled meeting, the members who have questions or will interpolate any of the participants in the meeting are encouraged to register with the committee's secretary. The lead person shall recognize interpolators on a first-to-register basis. Resource persons shall be given 5 minutes each to state their position or make a presentation in the meeting. During the interpellation period, committee members and other House members shall be recognized by the lead chairperson to make statements or ask questions to the resource persons. Time given will be 10 minutes. During the meeting or hearing, members who fail to pre-register and who want to be recognized will have to wait for the recognition from the lead chairperson. Unless recognized by the lead chairperson or by the presiding officer designated by the chairperson, participants are discouraged to turn on their microphones and speak. No interjection shall be allowed by the committee except upon recognition or approval of the presiding or the lead chairperson. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. I hope the ground rules are clear. So before we proceed now with the interpellation,
Mr. Chair, may I also
Congressman Adjo.
may I also request, since we are talking about and we also issued the subpoena duces tecum, this also pertains, Mr. Chair, to the ejection case filed by Harry Roque. And the documents that were submitted to this committee, Mr. Chair, needs a judicial affidavit, Mr. Chair, from Catherine Baterna and Cassie Ong, which was not submitted to this committee as an attachment to the document of the petition that was filed before this committee by Attorney Roque. So I move also, Mr. Chair, that we issue a subpoena ducis tecum on the judicial affidavits of Catherine Baterna and Cassandra Ong that was mentioned in the verified petition by Mr. Harry Roque, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Jong.
Thank
There's
you,
a
Mr.
motion to issue a subpoena ducis tecum as stated by Congressman Adjong, duly seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion is approved. Now we proceed with the I have here, by the way, a list of all those who wish to interpolate and ask and propound questions to our resource persons later. But at this juncture, allow me to acknowledge Congressman Chairman Abante for the introduction of our witness for today.
Mr. Chair, thank you. After all the discussions that have been done, we would like now to start this interpellation. So may I present the first witness, Mr. Chair, that have come forward with his affidavit. Let me call Colonel Jovi Espinido.
Okay, Paige, can you please assist Colonel Jovi Espinido? Good morning, Colonel Espinido.
Good morning, sirs, Your Honors. Good morning.
Do you have a lawyer with you?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
May we ask the lawyer to please enter your appearance before the Quadcom?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I am Andres B. Fernandez, Jr., and the rule of attorney is 28504, member IBP, Misamis Occidental.
Thank you, Attorney. So, magandang umaga ulit, Colonel Espinido. Meron ka bang opening statement? Meron ka bang prepared statement?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
May I ask everybody, please, to be silent for the moment so that magkarinigan tayo. Meron ka bang prepare na statement o meron kang gustong opening statement?
May prepare and opening statement, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sige. Please proceed.
But before, Your Honors, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask if my oath, if valid when my first attend in the Commission on Human Rights last month.
Yes, because you have already taken your oath in the committee hearing of the Committee on Human Rights. It follows that when we consolidated the four committees and formed this Quadcom, your oath still exists, so to speak. But just for purposes of clarity, we can administer the oath to you in our committee hearing today. COMSEC, you are directed to administer the oath of our resource person, Colonel Jovi Espinido. COMSEC.
Sir, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and God may help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, salamat. Thank you, COMSEC. Salamat, Colonel Espinido. Please proceed with whatever you want to say.
Before my opening statement, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I would like to thank to my God for allowing me as one of your resource person here in this Quad committee. And to our Senior Deputy Speaker, Honorable Don Gonzales, sir, and Deputy Speaker, Honorable J.J. Suarez, sir, to all the Chairman of Quad Committee, members, uniform personnel, senior officers, visitors, good morning, sirs and ma'am. I am Police Lieutenant Colonel Joby Rodriguez Espinido, 55 years old. 28 years in service, and I assigned presently at Police Regional Office 8 and Personnel Department, and my previous assignment, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, when I was assigned in Samar and Leyte and Albuera and Uzamis. Just only a brief and concise opening statement, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. For the information of sa lahat naman, I was victim and robbery hold up with my family before I joined the PNP, and victim also in extortion. I said victim in robbery hold up and extortion because that group in Leyte for almost 8 years nahuli yung grupo, ako pa ang nakahuli nang magpulis ako. Victim in extortion because kami na ang na-hold up, yung mga pulis magpunta sa amin para maghingi ng pang-diesel, pang-fuel, para hulihin ang suspect. Lahat na tanong ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na sa akin pagtingin, kung ako ang magpulis, it can help the government and ma-change man lang ang system ng police in a little way. I believe that the purpose of this Quad Committee is aid of legislation. It may be my experiential or experience testimony can help to legislate or to amend the existing laws. For 12 years, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I am Police Officer 1, Patrolman. Hindi ako naka-experience ng promotion. Why? Because in 2000, I am also batch of 1996 Public Safety Basic Recruit Course in PPEC and Regional Training School, Region 7, na 96, batch 96. I have encountered, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na ako ang na-assign sa City Anti-Narcotics ng Ormoc in the time. 2000, I filed complaint to the Military Ombudsman and the DOJ of Ormoc City for 14 uniformed personnel. Isa doon yung Regional Director for Administration, yung City Director ko, yung hipi ko mismo sa station, yung Deputy. They are all 14 for bribery, direct bribery. Tumatanggap sila ng payula. Ako lang isa, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, ang nag-file ng complaint. I know, alam ko lahat kasi ako ang operatives ng City Anti-Narcotics Unit ng Ormoc at the time. Then after, nanoon na si Espinido, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na Super Cup ng Leyte. Kagawian ko na kung saan ako ma-assign yung worship ng station ko, morning at saka evening, pinapa-worship ko talaga ang mga polis kasama ko. Nung lateral entry ako kasi at my commissionship, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, is through lateral entry. I am batch 08, 2008. First assignment ko na ako ang naging hipi ng Gandara, Samar. Ang purpose to disband the private armed groups of Samar. Then, for 1 month, I disbanded the group of Cabonyos. Nahuli natin yung mayor for 700 warrant of arrest, 600 na implement natin. Isa lang ang patay yung assistant ng private armed groups leader. Because of politicking, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na-relieve ako ng region. But fortunately, I believe that my assignment, maski kung saan, I considered it that all things work together for good, for there is a purpose. That is from Romans 8:28. So tinanggap ko, at saka nung ma-assign as Regional Director si Brigadier General Acer Dolina, Nirequest naman ako, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na mag-lead ng Regional Anti-Illegal Drugs Special Operation Task Group ng Region 8 for 2014-2015. For 2 months, na-disband natin ang grupo ng isang drug lord na kompetensya ni Kerwin Espinosa at the time. We apprehended 60 to 70 mga malalaking pusher. Isa lang ang patay, yung drug lord mismo. So, instead na yung regional director ko nagtawag sa akin personally, Your Honor, na may spot promotion, pero ang nangyari, na-relieve ako sa Mindanao. Nung ma-relieve ako, ang rason, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, instead of a precision, because of politicking again, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. So, yun ang mangyari palagi sa akin. Tinanggap ko din, but for 6 months, when I was graduated and Police Intelligence Officers course, schooling namin sa Cagayan, nanalo na ang previous administration. Si President Duterte na ang naging presidente 2016, na CPNP si CPNP Bato de la Rosa. Nakatanggap na ako ng call, Your Honor, through CPNP Bato de la Rosa na ako requested ng Leyte, particularly in Albuera, through the mayor of incumbent mayor, Mayor Johnny de la Serna, nasabi si CPNP Bato na nandito sa opisina ko sa Davao, nagpunta, kaya ikaw ang requested, kaya ikaw lang ang kinakatakutan ni Kerwin Espinosa. So ako, Your Honor, taga Leyte, so parang akong I am very impressed and happy for that information because makauwi na din ako sa amin. But yun na, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, nung ma-assign ako, siyempre, ang instruction, si Kerwin Espinosa, i-disband. No? Kasi siya ang nag-proliferate ng drugs doon sa Albuera, sa Region 8. So nung ma-assign ako, for only 18 days, for 1 month, na-disband natin ang grupo ni Kerwin Espinosa na nag-surrender yung papa niya for protective custody 1 month, nandito sa atin para na sa star witness, maging star witness natin. Fortunately din, si Kerwin Espinosa nahuli sa ibang bansa. For my 6 months na nahuli natin, nakakonfiscate tayo ng drugs for 14 kilos, more or less, yung baril na 60 to 70 pieces na long and short firearms. Walang namatay sa operasyon ng illegal drugs. Because of Senate hearing, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, si Kerwin nagsasalita sa Senate. And before nagsalita si Kerwin Espinosa, may reporting ako sa office ni CPNP Bato the day before the Senate hearing. Doon mismo, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, nakarinig ako kay Senator Bato na ako involved ng drugs. Sabi daw ni Kerwin, tumatanggap ako ng 20,000 per month na na-assign ako sa Davao. That is the first time, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na paluha ako nagtingin kay Sir Bato na nasali na yung pamilya ko, yung buhay ko, na disband na si Kerwin Espinosa. Why I am here, sir? Para mag-report sa iyo na accomplish ang trabaho. Although hindi sa akin yung responsibility na namatay si Mayor. But sabi ni CPNP Bato at the time na hindi nandito si Colonel Ferro. Colonel Ferro, sir, is head at the time of anti-illegal drugs group. Pidig na ngayon. So, kinonfirm ni Colonel Ferro na ako daw tumatanggap. Sabi ko, saan man si Kerwin, sir? Hindi din ibigay sa akin si Kerwin ni isang bisis, isang minuto na si Kerwin ibigay sa akin nung mahuli si Kerwin, when in fact ako ang team leader ng folder ni Kerwin Espinosa. So nagtaka na ako, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, but I believe in God that the truth will set me free. When then doon na sa Senate, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, kinukross na si Kerwin Espinosa, stated sa documents naman na sa lahat ng tanong ng mga senators at the time, na lahat ba tumatanggap ang tanong, ang sagot ni Kerwin Espinosa? Hindi lahat, sir, maliban kay Sir Espinido, na instead na hingian ko siya ng bank account isend sa akin yung Bible verse. So, na-impress ako, Your Honor, but disappointed because alam ko na si Kerwin, magtanggap talaga yun na totoo kasi nandyan hinawakan nila si Kerwin Espinosa at that time, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. So, nagkataon, may trust tayo sa Panginoon na hindi talaga totoo. So, nangyari na hindi totoo. Nung medyo may bikil na kami ni Chief PNP Bato, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, gabi, mga 9 o'clock, right after sa Senate inquiry, tinawagan ako ni Chief PNP Bato na, okay, isog ka man sa Bisaya pa, doon ka sa Usamis. Tingnan natin. So, maraming nagsabi, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na kung ako magpasahin ng Usamis, patayin, kasi nandoon lang ako ilagay sa baba ng buhaya. But I believe in God always, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, that every assignment that I have, that is a blessing and there is a purpose. Pinuntahan natin, Your Honor. They think na hindi makaya kasi parang in-underestimate lang yung pagkapulis ko because number one, lateral entry ako. So, ganun ang mga nangyari, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, sa kunting information na ibigay ko sa inyo ngayon. But to tell you to end, ako, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, hindi lang biktima ng rubber hold-up, extortion, biktima pa ko ng destabilization ng karakter ko. Ako ang number one na nag-disband ng grupo ni Kerwin Espinosa. But gusto nila na isali ako sa drug money na protector ni Kerwin Espinosa. Pangalawa, and I have, Your Honor, a list sa PR address list na sinali ako sa kay Espinosa as level 3, high value target, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Drug lord pala si Espinido. So, doon na naman sa Usamis, nung ma-accomplish natin ang Usamis, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, pinapareport na naman ako sa office ni Police Brigadier General Archie Gambua na sinabihan ako doon na, Juby, involved ka pala sa Malaysian drug trafficking. Wala ako magawa, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, just only to pagdasal lang, Lord, ikaw talaga kakampi ko, ang pulis ngayon. Sino pa ang paniwalaan ko? That time, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, may pagkataon na pinapatawag ako, pinapareport ako kay President Rodrigo Duterte at the time. Nag-report ako direct sa kanya. Sinabihan ko na siya kaagad, Sir, bakit sinali na naman ako sa Malaysian drug trafficking? Kung hindi sana gusto niyo na mangyari itong nangyari ngayon kay Espinosa at saka kay Paruhinog, bakit pinintulutan niyo ako na mag-team leader? Maghipis. Sana wala na lang para hindi niyo ako isalin ng ganun naman lang na tinawag, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na games of the general. So, continuous because I am obedient to my senior officer. Inassign na naman ako ng Iloilo. Ma-assign tayo ng Iloilo, but before, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, may huli tayo accomplishment natin sa Usamis, 168 na mga arrested person. They are all convicted. And siyam lang ang namatay for 2 years na mga poser. Siyam lang ang namatay. Sa drug operation, illegal drug operation ang masasabi ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. So, nung ako ma-assign sa Bacolod, from Iloilo, going to Bacolod, going to part of Negros Oriental, na mag-report ako na malapit na makuha natin, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, kung saan talaga ang drugs, going to Negros Oriental. Pa-stop ako ng trabaho kasi mag-report si Espinido sa krami kay kasali sa 357 drug watch list na naman. Nagpunta ako sa Camp Crame, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, hindi ko alam kung yun pala ang pakay ng pagpunta ko doon. Pinapapasok lang ako sa covered court, nakikita ko sa stage ang list, yung naka-font na 357 watch list ang present. Ako pa ang pinapauna na mag-drug test. Ako pa ang pinapauna na lie detector test. Sabi ng mga officer sa loob lang, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, Juby, bakit nasali ka dito? Akala namin kalaban kita. Kalaban kayo namin. Pero bakit nasali ka dito? So, ang daming tanong because alam na mga opiser na nagtrabaho sa Espinido na may Panginoon na totoo. So, best practices for me, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, before I end. Kung saan ako ma-assign, makita mo, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung stasyon ko na makita mo, papasok mo yung 10 Commandments sa likod ng desk officer, yung Psalm 23:91 sa bawat poste ng station, yung mga signage ng checkpoint ko, Bible verse, at saka first offense ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, kung traffic violation lang, 10 Commandments before ko mag-penalty sa kanila. Just to emphasizing the police officer and even the constituents na talagang may Panginoon. Kasi sa akin, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, yung mga pusher at saka user, they are all victims. Bigyan ko sila ng second chance. Kaya lahat ng mga istasyon na assign ako, I call the attention of the executive, the mayors, the siblings, and the other relatives. Nakausapin ko sila to give them a second chance. So yun ang mga ginawa ko, and it is recorded, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. So thank you for the time, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. And before siguro mag-in ako, sabi ko pa nga, I would like to distribute my sworn statement to make you have a perusal and reference.
Sige, Comsec, please help them. Although copies of the affidavit have already been distributed earlier, and I'm sure the members have read the affidavits or the affidavit. So we will now proceed with the interpellation. Thank you, Colonel Espinido. Salamat. First to interpellate is Congressman Joel Chua. Is Congressman Chua present?
Thank you,
You are
Mr. Chair.
recognized, Congressman Chua.
Wait, may I proceed, Mr. Chair?
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colonel Jovi Espinido, meron po ditong affidavit na sa page 7 po, nakalagay po dito, Jovi Espinido, at ito po ay notaryado, at may pirma po dito sa taas ng pangalan na Jovi Espinido. Ito po bang pirma ay pirma po ninyo?